Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare
Hare Hare.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Jai
Hare.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपी कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय।
Jai.
Jai.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा निशा हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा तरुण। ऑल राइट, सो हम लोग कल पढ़ रहे थे श्लोक 15 पढ़ रहे थे ऑफ अध्याय 24 कैंटो 3 या। सो जस्ट टू रीकैप, कपिल मुनि, so as we know, right, Devahuti, who is daughter of Shambhu Manu, got married to Karda Muni, yeah, and then they had 9 daughters, and then Karda Muni wanted to take renunciation, and that's when Devahuti requested, yeah, to give her something so that she can be fearless and also she can have transcendental knowledge, yeah. So after that, Karda Muni mentioned, because Karda Muni, if you remember, भगवान विष्णु ने दर्शन दिए थे उनको, एंड भगवान विष्णु ने कर्दा मुनि को कहा था कि वो उनके यहाँ पे बर्थ लेंगे एज कपिल मुनि, yeah. So then that's what Karda Muni is explaining to Devahuti, and then at that point when Kapil Muni is about to appear, he gets into the womb of Devahuti, and Lord Brahmaji at that point comes with all the top rishis to Karda Muni, and then he is now talking to Karda Muni, yeah. And what he is saying is, like we read that yesterday, atastavam rishi mukhyebhyo yatha shilam yatha ruchi आत्मजा है परिदेहि अध्याय विस्त्रीनि है यशो भुवि. So therefore, today, please give away your daughters to the foremost of the sages. Says here, Rishi Mukhyebhyo. The Mukhya Rishi jo hai, 9 rishis, Lord Brahma is telling Karda Muni to get the daughters married to those rishis with due regard for the girls' temperaments and likings. So it's saying Yatha Shilam, Yatha Ruchi. Based on girls' liking and temperament, give it to the rishis and thereby spread your fame all over the universe. So that's what we are reading yesterday. Let's read this paragraph. Sachin.
The 9 principal rishis or sages are Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kratu, Bhrigu, Vasishtha, and Atharva. All these rishis are most important, and Brahma desired that 9 daughters already born of Kardama Muni be handed over to them. Here, 2 words are used very significantly: Yatha Shilam, Yatha Ruchi. The daughter should be handed over to the respective rishis, not blindly, but according to the combination of character and taste. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so you see the rishis are, and we have seen this, those are the prime rishis. You have Marichi, Atri, Angira Rishi, Pulastya Muni, Pulaha Muni, Krityu Rishi, Bhrigu Rishi, Vasishtha Rishi, and Atharva Rishi. Yeah, and interesting thing is, let's just read this one, Rinaji.
Even about 40 years ago, in Indian marriages, the taste and character of the boy and girl were first of all matched, and then they were allowed to marry. This was done under the direction of the respective parents. The parents used to astrologically determine the character and taste of the boy and girl, and when they corresponded, the match was selected. This girl and this boy are just suitable, and they should be married. Other considerations were less important. The same system was also advised in the beginning of the creation of Brahma. Your daughters should be handed over to the rishis according to the taste and character.
Hare Krishna. Yes, it's also mentioned about the astrologically, right? How they match the Kundli. But these days, of course, the modern world is so different, right? But the Kundli match used to show the character and tastes of all the gunas which boy and girl has, right? But the point is, the 9 daughters of Kardamuni and Rehuti, and Lord Brahmaji is saying, ki get them married to the 9 Mukhya Rishis. Yeah. So we'll start with Shlok 16, Anilji.
Vedahamadyam purusham vatirnam swamayaya bhutanam shevidham deham vibranam kapilam mune. O Kardam, I know that the original Supreme Personality of Godhead has now appeared as an incarnation by his internal energy. He is the bestower of all that is desired by the living entities, and he has now assumed the body of Kapil Muni. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Brahmaji, of course, knows, and he's telling Kardamuni that I know that Purusham Avatirna Swamayaya, yeah, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has now appeared, yeah, and he's saying who is the Supreme Lord is the bestower of all that is desired by the living entities. Bhutanam Shevadhim Deham. Yeah, Supreme Lord is the bestower of all the desires of living entities, and he's saying Kapilam Muni. So he is now assumed the body of Kapil Muni. Yeah, and actually a pretty nice purport. Let's read. Anisha.
In this verse, we find the words Purusham Avarthanam Swamayaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is everlastingly, eternally the form of Purush, the predominator or enjoyer. And when he appears, he never accepts anything of this material energy. The spiritual world is a manifestation of his personal internal potency, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his material or differentiated energy. The word Swamaya, by his own internal potency, indicates that whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead descends, he comes in his own energy. He may assume the body of a human being, but the body is not material. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So continue reading this, Anilji.
In Bhagavad Gita, it is therefore clearly stated that only fools and rascals, mudhas, consider the body of Krishna to be the body of a common human being. The word Sevadhim means that he is the original bestower of all the necessities of life upon the living entities. In the Vedas, also it is stated that he is the chief living entity and that he bestows all the desired necessities of other living entities. Because he is the bestower of the necessities of all others, he is called God. The Supreme is also a living entity. It's not impersonal as we are individual. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also individual, but he is the supreme individual. That is the difference between God and the ordinary living entities. Hare Krishna.
Nisha?
ज्ञान विज्ञान योगेन कर्मणा मुद्धरन जटाः हिरण्यकेशः पद्माक्षः पद्ममुद्रा पदाम्बुजः. By mystic yoga and the practical application of knowledge from the scriptures, Kapil Muni, who is characterized by his golden hair, his eyes just like lotus petals, and his lotus feet, which bear the marks of lotus flowers, will uproot the deep-rooted desire for work in this material world. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, yeah. So Brahmaji is describing Kapil Muni, yeah, like he'll do the practical application of knowledge from the scriptures. He says Jnana Vijnana Yogena, yeah, and he's describing like Hiranyakesha hai. So the golden hair and the eyes just like lotus petals. Says Padma Aksha. Aksha is the eyes, and then Padma Mudra Padam Bhuja. So that is also the lotus feet are bearing the marks of lotus flowers, Padma Mudra, and then also is a deep-rooted desire for working in this material world. Karmana Muttarana Jata hai. So that's what Lord Brahmaji is saying about Kapil Muni. And actually, again, it's a beautiful purpose. So let's read this. Tarun, will you be able to read? Or
yeah, give me 1 second. I can read.
Okay.
Oops. In this verse, the activities and bodily features of Kapila Muni are very nicely described. The activities of Kapila Muni are forecast herein. He will present the philosophy of Sankhya in such a way that by studying the philosophy, people will be able to uproot the deep-rooted desire for karma, fruitive activities. Everyone in this material world engages in achieving the fruits of his labor. A man tries to be happy by achieving the fruits of his own honest labor, but actually he becomes more and more entangled. One cannot get out of this entanglement unless he has perfect knowledge or devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the most important thing which is mentioned here is this whole material entanglement, right, in which all of us are. We cannot get out unless we start getting perfect knowledge, or that is obtained by the devotional service. Yeah. And it says here, Gyan means knowledge received through disciplic succession from the scriptures. Yeah. And Vigyan means practical application of such knowledge. Kapil Muni's Sankhya system of philosophy is based on Gyan and Vigyan. Yeah. Rinaji?
मानवीते गर्भं प्रविष्टः कैटभार्दनः अविद्यासंशयग्रन्थिं छित्त्वा गां विचरिष्यति. Lord Brahma then told Devahuti, "My dear daughter of Manu, the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who killed the demon Katav is now within your womb. He will cut off all the knots of your ignorance and doubt. Then he will travel all over the world." Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So, of course, Lord Brahmaji is telling Devahuti that who is in your womb is the Ketab Mardanaha. Yeah, that's Lord Vishnu, right? Who killed the demon Ketab. And then he is saying, because remember, Devahuti requested Karda Muni to get transcendental knowledge, right? So he will cut off all your knots of your ignorance and doubt. Says here, avidya sansaya grintim chitva. And so that's what Lord Brahmaji is telling to Devahuti. So read this. Nisha.
Here is the word avidya is very significant. Avidya means forgetfulness of one's identity. Even one of us is a spirit soul, but we have forgotten. We think I am this body, which is called avidya. Samasya Granthi means doubtfulness, and the knot of doubtfulness is tied when the soul identifies with the material world. That knot is also called ahankar, the junction of matter and spirit. By proper knowledge received from the scriptures is disciplic succession, and by proper application of that knowledge, one can free himself from this binding combination of matter and spirit. Brahma assures Devhuti that her son will be enlighten her, and after enlightening her, he will travel all over the world distributing the system of Sankhya philosophy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the important fact mentioned here is what is avidya, right? We talk about a lot of knowledge and what is not knowledge and all that, but the real avidya, like not knowledge, is the forgetfulness of one's identity. Yeah, that is the avidya. And how do we remove that avidya? Yeah, is the key. So that's what we need to understand. And here says, by proper knowledge received from the scriptures in disciplic succession and proper application of that knowledge, okay, then one can free himself from the binding combination of matter and spirit. Yeah. So
One question, Vaya. So they say that distributing the system of Sankhya philosophy, what is that? Anyone knows?
yeah, so the Sankhya philosophy, right, is essentially the knowledge which Kapil Muni. So Kapil Muni is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, right? If you had seen like all the avatars of Lord Vishnu, right? And so Kapil Muni is credited for bringing out the Sankhya philosophy, where he actually explains like what is the materialistic world and how can you gain the transcendental knowledge. And in fact, he also gets into the devotional knowledge. But it seems there is another Kapil Muni who appeared afterwards.
Yeah.
But the real Kapil Muni, the Sankhya philosophy, is the one who is son of Devhuti and Karda Muni. And I think we'll probably read more about Sankhya philosophy.
Okay.
But it all is related to gaining the transcendental knowledge and removing avidya. So all related to the Sankhya philosophy, right? Using that is how Kapil Muni will also enlighten Devhuti and give the transcendental knowledge. Yeah. So the whole philosophy is related to understanding the materialistic world and the spiritual world, and ultimately engaging into devotional service to go back to Godhead. Yeah. It says here, right? See, yeah, it says mental speculators think similarly, but they are all doubtful. They have all this suspicion, right? But you see, the real knowledge is expounded in Bhagavad Gita. If you read Bhagavad Gita, just become Krishna conscious, just worship Krishna and become a devotee of Krishna. That is the real knowledge. Okay. And anyone who follows that system becomes perfect without a doubt. Yeah.
Thank you.
अयम सिद्ध गणाधीश है, सांख्याचार्य है सुसम्मत है, लोके कपिल इत्याख्याम गंताते कीर्तिवर्धन है. Your son will be the head of all the perfected souls. He will be approved by the acharyas, expert in disseminating real knowledge. And among the people, he will be celebrated by the name Kapil as the son of Devhuti. He will increase your fame. Yeah. So that is what Lord Brahmaji is saying. Yeah. He'll be the head of all the perfected souls. It says Siddha Ganadhisha hai. And he is approved by whom? Sankhya Acharya hai, Susammat hai. Like all the top rishis, Acharya expert in disseminating real knowledge, right? Who are there, and Kapil Muni will be approved by those Acharya, just to prove the point. Yeah. And of course, he says, Loke Kapil Itya Akhyam, he'll be known as Kapil Muni, and he'll, of course, Dehuti is son, so her fame will be increased. So, yeah. So that's what Lord Brahmaji is telling Kapil Muni. Sachin?
मैत्रेय उवाच तावाश्वास्य जगत्स्राष्टा कुमारैः सह नारदः हंसो हंसेन यानेन त्रिधाम param yayyo. Sri Maitreya said, after thus speaking to Karda Muni and his wife Devahuti, Lord Brahma, the creator of universe, who is also known as Hamsa, went back to the highest of the three planetary systems on his swan carrier with the four Kumaras and Narada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Maitreya Vacha, and Maitreya is speaking to whom?
Mahatma Vidur.
Mahatma Vidur, yeah? So remember, all this conversation is because Mahatma Vidur wanted to know from Maitreya Muni at the Ganga river, right? All the story about Brahma and how the universe got expanded. And that's how we saw Lord Varaha's story, and then now we are reading about Kapil Muni and then Karda Muni and Dehuti. So continuing that, Maitreya Muni is telling Mahatma Vidur is that Brahmaji, after speaking to Karda Muni and his wife Dehuti, Lord Brahma, who is also known as Jagat Sista, right? We know Srishti ki Rachana kari hai Brahmaji ne. He is also known as Hansh, went back to the highest of the three planetary systems. Yeah, he says here, Tridham Paramam Yayo. Tridham Paramam. And we remember, like we have studied, how many loks are there in this universe? 14, yeah? Remember, we have 14. And what is the highest lok?
Satyalok.
Satyalok, yeah? Or Brahmalok. So we know the highest lok is Satyalok and Brahmalok. That is where Lord Brahmaji resides, yeah? So it's three lok. There are three planetary systems, yeah? But there are 14 loks, as we have seen, right? But it's also called as three lok. So three planetary systems, which consist of those 14 loks, yeah? And what it is being mentioned is Lord Brahma, yeah, he goes back to his dham, Hanso Hansena Yanena. So we know, like Swan, the Hans is the carrier of Lord Brahma, yeah? And so it says here, Lord Brahma goes back. So if you remember, when Kapil Muni appears in womb of Dehuti, Lord Brahma comes with all the rishis and the four Kumars and Narad to Karda Muni's ashram, yeah, at Saraswati river. And then he goes back after talking to Dehuti, telling about Kapil Muni and also asking for 9 daughters to be married. Lord Brahma goes back to his place, yeah, along with the four Kumars. Do you remember the name of the four Kumars? Yeah, Sanat Kumars, right?
Sanat Kumars, yeah.
Sanak, Sadanand, and I think it's also given here, Sanat, Sanak, yeah, and Sanatan, yeah. And actually we can read this purport. Let's read this clean. Bhagwati bhai, padhoge kya? और तरुण?
मेरे को रहने दे गजेंद्र.
ओके, ठीक है. क्या तरुण पढ़ पाओगे?
Yeah, I can read.
Okay.
The words
Okay.
Hatsena Yanena are very significant here. Hatsayana, the airplane by which Brahma travels all over outer space, resembles a swan. Brahma is also known as Hamsa because he can grasp the essence of everything. His abode is called Tridhama Paramam. There are three divisions of the universe: the upper planetary system, the middle planetary system, and the lower planetary system. but his abode is above even Siddhaloka, the upper planetary system. He returned to his own planet with the 4 Kumaras and Narada because they were not going to be married. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So, yeah. Okay. Let's do one more shlok. Anilji?
जी गते शत धृतो शतः कर्दमस्तेन चोदितः यथोदितं सदुहृता प्रादाद्विस्रजाम ततः. O Vidur, after the departure of Brahma, Kardama Muni, having seen, ordered by Brahma, handed over his 9 daughters as instructed to the 9 great sages who created the population of the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so that's why you see, like, people are like, they will have some gotra, right? Which Rishi's gotra. So that's how it has been started from there. I think actually we are going to pause here, and it says like who got married to whom in these shloks. We'll read that tomorrow. Yeah. And then we'll hear the Damodar Ashtakam now. Okay. So. Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll hear Damodar Ashtakam and then we'll see you tomorrow at the same time.
Kripa drishti vrishya